So today we got Martian Manhunter versus Apocalypse. Now these guys have very similar powers and actually are nearly on the same power level, so it's going to be one fun fight. In a teaser for tomorrow's video, there's actually two. One of them revolves the Dark Knight versus someone. Who is it? The other one revolves Aquaman versus someone. The first one to get them right gets a shout out in those videos, so let's get started with this one. Martian Manhunter versus Apocalypse. Decades ago, John Jones was teleported to Earth from Mars and was left stranded. Since then, he has used his extraordinary abilities to protect and serve the people of Earth. Martian Manhunter possesses powers and abilities that are common to all Martians, but he has routinely shown that he is the most powerful member of his race. He has superhuman strength on par with Superman and Wonder Woman, and he helped them to move the Earth before, and he's able to increase his strength even more by growing in size. His durability allows him to take punches from foes like the Man of Steel and Despero, and just like with strength, he can increase his invulnerability by altering his density to become super dense. Him and other Martians have demonstrated speed that allows him to keep up with the Flash, and he's also able to fly and maneuver at these great speeds as well. John has an incredible healing factor and can recover quickly from almost any injury. He's even shown that he can regenerate his entire body from just a severed arm. One of Martian Manhunter's most famous abilities is his shape-shifting powers, which is where he can take on any shape that he wants and can form himself into any object or organism, alive, extinct, or imagined. He's able to grow multiple arms, can stretch his limbs however long he wants, and can become as immovable or flexible as he desires. He can grow to the size of buildings, and his shape-shifting is actually so great that it extends down to the chemical composition of his body, at the time where he turned his skin into a thick exoskeleton of human bone. Manhunter can lower his density in order to become intangible, and he often uses this power in combat from an enemy's attack. He can also make himself become invisible, and this is like a full-on invisibility, where he is not even detectable on the entire electromagnetic spectrum, and Superman hasn't been able to see him before. John is the most powerful telepath on the planet, and is even able to affect Dr. Fate and the Spectre with his telepathy. He can create illusions, shut down people's minds, influence thoughts or mind control, and can create mental shields. He's also able to shoot powerful blasts of sonic energy and create sonic shields. John has Martian vision and Martian breath, which is similar to Superman's heat vision and freeze breath. Then in the other corner we have Apocalypse, one of the very first mutants. Apocalypse is both thousands of years old and a monstrous tyrant that has been a long-time foe of the X-Men. Apocalypse believes that only the strongest should survive, whether that be mutant or superhuman. His body is a mix of organics and powerful celestial technology. He is one of the most powerful mutants who have ever lived, and is one of the most powerful beings who has ever walked the face of the earth. He was already a powerful mutant, but then he merged with celestial technology, which greatly amplified his powers that he already had and gave him new ones. And this guy has a ton of powers, so bear with me here for a moment. It's literally like someone was coming up with a villain for the X-Men and decided to give this guy every single power imaginable. He possesses vast physical strength on par with Thor and Hulk, and durability to where he can withstand powerful energy attacks, explosions, the full force of Cyclops' optic beams, and Black Bolt's shout. He can also increase his strength and durability to virtually infinite levels because he can take on more mass from a different dimensional source or draw upon different energy sources. There is no limit to how much energy Apocalypse can draw from this extra dimensional source, so thus there's no real limit to his physical strength. He has complete control over the entire molecular structure of his body and can do basically anything that he wants. He's turned his limbs into weapons like axes, hammers, swords, shields, tentacles, and even plasma cannons and guns of bullets, and has formed mechanical wings or rocket-propelled booster jets in order to fly. He's been able to grow multiple limbs, stretch his body similar to Mr. Fantastic, increase or decrease his size and mass, and he has a powerful healing factor. Like I said, Apocalypse has access to a near infinite amount of extra-dimensional energy, and can use energy for other things besides just increasing his strength. He's able to unleash powerful raw energy blasts from his hands and eyes, can create nearly impenetrable force fields, absorb an infinite amount of energy, infuse his own body of energy in order to make himself as fast as speedsters, and can even blow himself up in a massive explosion only to reform using his shape-shifting powers. He can fly at speeds of over 6,000 miles per hour, teleport across the planet, and can interface, control, even merge with various technology at his disposal. Apocalypse has above genius intellect in lots of different fields, and is also a tactical genius, unleashing plans that took hundreds of years to map out. Finally, Apocalypse is a powerful telepath and telekinetic, and can create sonic shields, mind blast opponents, project himself onto the astral plane, and transfer both his mind and body into a host. Wow, that was a lot. I gotta catch my breath a little bit. But we gotta keep on going. Because who wins? Well, this is where we break it down. Let's break it down. Now, this is a really even matchup. Like I said, they both have essentially the same powers as the other one does, and while Martian Manhunter is on the same level as Superman, Apocalypse has consistently shown that he can take down superhero teams all by himself. Manhunter's greatest asset going into any fight is telepathy, as he's one of the most powerful telepaths on the planet. He's even defeated Despero, who was an insanely powerful telepath in his own right. But Apocalypse is a powerful telepath as well, and actually possesses nearly complete immunity to telepathic attacks because of his strong will, his sonic powers, and centuries of training and experience. He's even resisted Jean Grey and Professor X multiple times before. Now you could probably make a strong argument that Manhunter is a better telepath than Jean Grey, Professor X, and Apocalypse himself, but the point still stands that Apocalypse is so resistant to telepathic attacks that John will definitely not be able to easily beat him that way. But on the reverse side, Apocalypse isn't going to defeat Manhunter with telepathy because John really is that powerful that he can resist it. With physical strength, I would say that Martian Manhunter has the advantage. He's been able to injure Superboy Prime, knock out Shazam with one punch, and hold his own in battle against Superman. Yes, Apocalypse has been able to hold his own against Hulk and defeat a young Thor, but I would say that at the start, and based on all their feats, Martian Manhunter is stronger. He's also much faster. John has consistently shown that he can go around the speed of light, if not faster, and has been seen keeping up with Superman, Flash, and Wonder Woman, going faster than the speed of thought. He also uses his speed in combat too, like when he took out lots of white Martians who were beating up Green Lantern and Wonder Woman while fighting against the Flash. Apocalypse has used his speed to hit Quicksilver before, but honestly, Pietro isn't nearly as fast as people like Clark, Barry, or Deanna. I say that John is slightly more durable as well, but just barely. He's taken full powered punches from Black Adam, takes a bunch of attacks from the Justice League while he isn't fighting back, and in a blast that knocked out every member of the Justice League, Manhunter was the last one to be knocked out by it. But Apocalypse is pretty darn durable too. He's taken combined attacks from the X-Men and Inhumans, and has withstood a full-powered shout from Black Bolt. But here's the thing. Apocalypse's powers are because he can tap into a near infinite amount of extra-dimensional energy, and then he can use his energy to augment his strength, speed, and durability. He can also unleash raw energy blast from his hands and eyes, and can also use his energy to create force fields, and even blow himself up in a massive explosion. That's a lot of power, but a lot of it can be countered by Martian Manhunter's intangibility. John can simply phase through force fields and make himself intangible to those energy blasts. Then John can also use his Martian vision to counter the energy blast. The Martian vision is able to battle against Superman's heat vision, so I'm pretty sure it will battle against Apocalypse's energy attacks as well. But Apocalypse's shields should be able to block the Martian vision, and we've seen Apocalypse manipulating Cyclops' optic beams, but this was really because he had technology that allowed him to do it, not necessarily because it's one of his natural abilities. And then both of these characters have complete control over the molecular structure, and are incredibly versatile shapeshifters. Apocalypse usually uses shapeshift to turn into more machines and weapons, while Manhunter usually prefers to turn into living organisms. They can both turn their limbs into weapons, can stretch and mold their body, and grow multiple appendages. I say that this area is more of a stalemate. Both have complete molecular control, and so it's going to be real difficult, if not impossible, for either one of them to beat the other using their shape-shifting powers. Then Manhunter is a better fighter, as he usually dives in head first and has a lot more experience actually fighting, while Apocalypse tends to manipulate more from behind the scenes and send his horsemen in first. But on the other hand, Apocalypse is smarter than Manhunter. He's had centuries of knowledge and is an expert in multiple different fields. So at the end of the day, how do I see this fight playing out? Well, if Apocalypse had time to prepare before, he wins. He has access to a large amount of celestial technology, and that should give him the powers required to take Manhunter down quickly. And then if he knew about John's weakness to fire, then all he should do is turn his limb into a flamethrower, and he wins. I mean, Batman has beat Martians, which is a flamethrower, before, so why can't Apocalypse? But here's the problem with all that. Apocalypse won't have time to prepare beforehand, and he won't know about Martian Manhunter's weakness to fire, because why would he? So that won't work either. And here John's greater physicality is going to pull it out. They're pretty much at a stalemate on everything else, and he won't be able to easily defeat Apocalypse with telepathy thanks to his nearly complete immunity to telepathic attacks. But Manhunter is stronger, faster, and more durable, and since they're equal on pretty much everything else, that is what's going to give him the victory. Martian Manhunter wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button for videos just like this one every single day.